Story 1. Emile kicks our dog. We kick her out of our house. My mother-in-law was over today, and as usual, she brought up the subject of children. We've been married for 8 years but don't want children, a concept she struggles to grasp. She lamented that we're getting too old, we're both 30, and seems to think our dog is somehow to blame. She's made comments like, if you didn't have the dog, you could have children more safely, and it's so weird that you care so much about an animal but don't even think about having your own child. Our German Shepherd is 14 years old. We know his time is limited, which is incredibly difficult because I've had him since I was a teenager, and my husband loves him dearly. He's like a child to us. Thankfully, he doesn't have any terminal illnesses, and the vet says we don't need to consider putting him down as long as he's eating, drinking, and walking. Today, my MIL became angry when we asked her to drop the subject of children once and for all. Whether or not we have them is none of her business, and we certainly won't have them just to please her. She stormed out of the living room, heading to the foyer for her jacket. There's a short hallway between the two rooms, and our dog was walking there. I stepped out of the living room just in time to see my MIL snarl, "Get out of the way, you dirty mutt," and kick him on the side. He staggered, completely surprised, as he's never been hit before. We've never physically punished him, even as a puppy, and she wasn't going to, either. I was furious. "What the hell are you doing? Why would you kick the dog?" She replied, "Well, why is he in my way, moving like a snail? I don't have time to stand here forever." Yes, he's slow. He's old and doesn't have the energy to run around. She could have easily walked around him. The hallway is wide enough. She hoped no one would see her taking her frustration about our childlessness out on our dog. I told her that the dog lives here. She doesn't, and she has no right to treat him like that. He's not at fault for anything. If we wanted children, we'd have them, regardless of the dog. I warned her that if she ever did anything like that again, I would make her pay. My husband didn't see her kick the dog but heard the commotion and came to investigate. I told him his mother had attacked our dog. He was initially disbelieving, then became enraged. He completely sided with me and told her to leave and never come back. He said she would never cross our threshold again because our dog deserves a peaceful end to his life, and she's a threat to him. I was surprised and pleased. I knew he loved me more than his mother, but I didn't realize how strongly he'd react. My MIL started to say something, but my husband dragged her into the foyer. He didn't even let her get her coat. He threw her jacket and boots out the door. It had just rained, and the jacket landed in a puddle, and told her to never contact us again. He said if we ever did have children, she'd never see them. She was incredibly offended, saying, "All this over one dirty, shedding, unsanitary piece of hair? You'll both regret this." Our dog is fine, thankfully. My husband insisted we take him to the vet to ensure there was no internal damage. Everything is okay, considering his age. My husband has blocked his mother's number, and it seems he's serious about going no contact. I am, too. I will never understand cruelty towards animals. Comment 1. So, by this logic, when she's old and slow, you're allowed to kick her if she's holding you up from leaving. I'm happy to hear that your DH has initiated NC. I can't stand cruelty to any animal. Comment 2. Let's see. MIL nags about grandchildren, kicks your dog, gets herself banned from your home, and says, "You'll both regret it." My question is, what's to regret? Sounds like a win to me. Comment 3. I just got up to hug my 15-year-old, arthritic, completely loved standard poodle child. You and your husband are the best doggy parents. Give your old man a hug from me, and poodle kisses, too. Story 2. Some mom, Mil criticizes me openly and I just sent her fuck off. My mother-in-law has this annoying habit of making passive-aggressive comments. She always brings up how my house isn't as clean as it should be, even though I'm at home all day. She'll compare it to how she managed to keep her place spotless while raising 2 kids, never mind that I suffer from a chronic illness, and she knows that. She also has this tendency to point out that I'm not working and imply that because I'm not employed, I have nothing to do all day. She'll say things like, "I help the ones who really need it, the ones with little ones, with this fake sweet smile. One of her favorite lines is, "When you come to my house, don't throw things on the floor or Nana's house will end up like Mama's, and Nana doesn't want that." It's always said with that condescending tone. Lately, she's been visiting once a week for about 10 minutes, and each time, she finds a way to make a comment about how I should be doing more to help my husband, who, to be honest, is an absolute jerk. The last time I had enough, I said, "You're right, Emile. I don't work and I do nothing all day, so I shouldn't bother you with my little one when there are people who actually work and need help. So, I'll keep my child with me from now on so you can help all those others who need it." She responded by saying I was being silly, and that if I kept her from seeing her grandchild, she might as well go to the cemetery. She called me sensitive. Of course, my husband thinks I went too far, and he's now acting like I'm the villain here. Honestly, I don't care. Update. Now, my husband is giving me the silent treatment for 2 days, and I told him I have no regrets. Finally, he spoke up and said we need to address my mean behavior. I couldn't help but laugh. Comment 1. Your husband needs to go ahead and marry his mom for once and for all. Comment 2. She is not your mom. If your husband wants her to see your children, he can organize it and take the children there. It's not your job. Comment 3. Oh no, Emile. You made yourself quite clear. We won't be bothering you anymore. What's that? You think you should go sleep in the cemetery? Well, that's not good. Calls for a wellness check every time she threatens dying. You made yourself quite clear, Mill. I am only respecting your wishes. Story 3. Do you have a favorite petty dig you've managed to slip in? Sometimes, even though it doesn't really change anything, it feels so satisfying to let a little bit of pettiness out. My ex-mother-in-law went by D, so I took every chance to say things like, "Why don't you, D?" or "I think you should, D." But my absolute favorite was, "I really wish you would, D." I made sure to say it in a way that would make her look at me suspiciously, and of course, I perfected my innocent, "Why are you looking at me like that?" face. It's been almost 20 years since I last saw her, but I still get a chuckle thinking about it. Have you ever gotten a satisfying, yet totally deniable, little jabbing like that? Comment 1. My former almost Emile would tell everyone who would listen that her biscuits cookies for Americans were everyone's favorites. I knew for a fact she got them from the supermarket and put them in a tin, but swore blind it was a secret recipe. So, I dutifully showed up to a family gathering with a biscuit tin full of my own attempt at baking and said in front of her that she'd share the secret with me. She had a smile tighter than a Ziploc bag that day. Comment 2. DH's birth giver has been cut off for decades and never met my 5 now adult children. My mom gave me all the grief at first. She'd try to say that's not how I did it. I would do XYZ, and I'd give her a sympathetic pat and say, "That's not your fault, Mom. Your generation didn't know any better. You couldn't have known the damage it would cause. If people did the things you did back then, most of them could get you arrested. Shut her up, LOL." If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.